All right, here we are. I'm on the air again. Is it working? Are you guys getting me live or not? Let's find out if anyone's going to tune in on this side on take two. Um, this is so frustrating. I can tell you. I tell you, folks, when you're hardwired into your modem, it should not be happening. There's one viewer. I've got a viewer. I might be back on here. Two viewers. Oh my goodness. The world is coming back to me. Here we are. I'm looking at myself live on my screen here. Okay, Paul is here. Tom is here. Hi, you guys. 9 people are here now. You're all coming back in. Those of you who are not frustrated and are giving me enough to go are coming back on here. Thank you very much. 12 viewers now. I've got you, Robert, Ann, Tracy, Ed. I see you all here. Debbie made it back. Brittany, I'm back. Hi, you guys. 15 here now. It's just so frustrating. I cannot tell you the frustration level. I get so upset, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Because I don't own the YouTube, studios out there. I'm just the guy trying to do a show on their system. But everyone is here. Seakeeper's back. Wes is back. Kat, Paul. Hi guys, you're all here. Thank you so much for rejoining me on this ridiculous day today. I don't know if it's the smoke in the air, an internet connection somewhere down the line. Some of you were having no trouble with me whatsoever getting my signal, and others were getting the spinning box. I was getting the spinning signal just like crazy. I see now there's 21 of you here on this one, so I'm glad you're with me. It's just technology, what can I tell you? It is weird. Ann Jordan from Brisbane, she's back. Hi, Ann. We're all here. Thank you guys for rejoining me on the show. Unbelievable. I just don't understand what the problem is on the internet. It's not a virus in my computer. It really isn't. I don't have a virus issue here, and I'm getting very high speeds for download and upload. Very good. So I can't put a finger on as to why this is happening, but it is. And yet, from time to time, we get these fritzes, these little glitches. Have you tried adding a ball of crumpled aluminum foil to your rabbit ear antenna? Thank you, Seakeeper. You're showing your age now. Do you remember those days when we used to have antennas on our televisions, on our TV roofs? I know my dad, back in, oh gosh, this would have been 1968, cutting edge. He got the TV man to come to the house. He bought a color television, and the television man came to the house, and he installed a state-of-the-art TV antenna on it was like a tower on the side of the house. He bolted it to the side of the chimney, going all the way up to the roof. And then up at the top of the roof had to have been a TV antenna that had to have been 20 feet across, 10 feet from center, 10 each way. And it had a motor in the living room. My dad could turn a knob and make the a television antenna turn up there. And the TV man, he set that antenna right up to, so channel 7, you just had to go to this spot right here. He put a piece of tape on the dial, just right there's channel 7. Channel 9, just turn it over here, and that's channel 9. And oh man, and I think we did that for about 2 years until 1970 or 71, when the arrival of cable showed up in our neighborhood. This is Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario, way back when, and all of a sudden we had 20 channels on cable. Holy moly macaroni, can you believe it? We could watch crystal clear television, no interference. When the storm blew over, it didn't make a difference. Could see a great show. Oh, that was something. That antenna stayed up there for at least another 7 or 8 years, but slowly over the years, it rusted away. And the birds would sit on it, and it slowly deteriorated. Of course, we never used it. And I'm sure eventually someone, I don't know who, but someone eventually was called, take that thing down and get rid of it. Because all the neighborhood, every house around us all had antennas. Those are the days that every television, every house had antennas around their homes. Those are the days. Oh my gosh, funny stuff. Well, we'll just say we had one of those wired coat hangers, Cat Rose. Yeah. I remember the on top of the TV. I don't know why I'm pointing behind me, but the TV would be sitting on the whatever cabinet, and it would have the rabbit ears. And if one of us got up and touched the rabbit ear, the picture would be perfect. So don't move, just stand there and hold it for 10 minutes so we can see the picture. You can't see anything because if you go around like this, as soon as you like to look, the TV would go bad. I don't know if the TV knew you were trying to watch it, so that the picture would go all fuzzy every time you looked at it. But the rest of them, oh, they had a perfect television. Unless they were fooling unless they were kidding. I don't know. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I miss. I don't miss those days. I don't miss the days of antenna television at all. I don't miss them at all. Oh man, unbelievable. All right, there you go. 31 are back. We got 31 viewers here. Welcome, you guys. 32 now. Fantastic. Thanks for finding me. My gosh. Wes Morrison, now with the price of cable, antennas are back in style. Brittany Lockwood, I have no clue as to when my computer had a virus last. I have really good antivirus on my computer, and I've made sure my mom has really good antivirus as well. Good for you. Well done, Brittany. You want to make sure you stay on top of that. I've been lucky. So far, so good. No virus issues apparently. But these connection issues, what are you going to do? From time to time, they come up and they either work or they don't. What can I say? D&G, we're back on. Welcome back, you guys. 32 of us here are back here. We've had to come over to this side. I just basically shut the other one off and turned this one on and called a take two and see what happens. Those of us who are regulars, we're used to this. I just fear that sometimes I lose new subscribers or I lose potential new people who are trying to find me and they can't find me. It's a bit frustrating, but anyway, I'm here. Again, if you do have the notification icon, that little bell icon, hit. If you knock that thing on, theoretically, you might get a notification that I just did what I did, that I'm back on the air on another telecast, but I can't say for sure. Some of you will have to let me know if any of that's happening. Peter Heckema is here. Hi, Peter Heckema. Welcome back, buddy. And Jordan, thumbs ups. Wendy Thompson, good day again. It's let's all hope that the internet gods are happy and we can hear the here traveling with Bruce here. So far, it's good. Everyone's getting a great signal. Everything looks good here. I'm looking at a good picture here on my computer. I'm looking at a good picture here on my phones. 36 folks are here. 14 thumbs ups already. The things must be working. So thank you, everybody. Today's topic I wanted to talk about today, Norwegian Cruise Lines. I was going to talk about Norwegian Cruise Lines, the fact that they released their second quarter financial statements this morning. Numbers are good, generally speaking. The cruise line is putting a huge spin on this. Norwegian is just trying to tell the world how great everything is with their business. Hi, Suzanne. Hey, welcome. We'll take two. Yeah, take two. Give me another thumbs up. That's right. Thumbs ups on the first one. Thumbs ups on the second one. Thank you, Suzanne. Sorry, Tom Henry is saying, I have an old Tube TV guest room with the advent of digital. It has a rabbit ear and gets more stations than the large roof antenna used to get. Love the local stations, have 3 or 4 feeds. And Robert Brand says they are all viruses. Okay, back to Norwegian. Norwegian came up with their numbers, and they told us that in general, they said that their gross revenue went up 13.2%. That's gross numbers coming in the front door. They said that instead of bringing in $1.3 billion, they brought in $1.5 billion this year versus last year. Very good. But on the expense side, they gained 13.2% on revenue, but the expenses went up 14.7%. Yet they're telling us they made more money. How is that possible? Well, they're making more money per share because there are fewer shares outstanding. They have now purchased back this year so far $450 million of their own stock. If you saw the show yesterday, you may have noticed I mentioned the capital value, the so-called capitalized value of Norwegian Cruise Line. If you took all of the shares that Norwegian had and divided it by the price of the stock, or multiplied by the price of stock, the market capitalization of Norwegian is $11 billion. Well, they bought $450 billion of the company back. That's almost 5%, or let's say 4.5% of the company. So there's 4.5% of the shares that don't exist anymore. They are not outstanding anymore. And so you have the numbers, the money being made divided into fewer shares, and the earnings per share is higher. Okay, that's how that works. So if you have a company that makes $1 billion and they have 1 billion shares outstanding, they're making $1 a share. Billion shares, $1 a share, $1 billion. If the stock trades at $10 a share, it's a $10 billion valued company. $10 a share times 1 billion shares, $10 billion valuation, making $1 billion. But if you buy back $1 billion worth of the stock, and the company does the buyback, not an individual, the corporation buys its own stock back with its own money and cancels the shares, and they don't exist anymore. Next year, you only have 900 million shares outstanding. Now, if you only make $900 million next year, you made $100 million less money than the year before, you still made $1 a share. You only have 900 million shares to divide the 900 million into. So if you can equal the amount of money you made, if you can make $1 billion again, but you only have 900 million shares out there, you don't make $1 a share anymore. You're making like $1.11 a share, $1.10 a share, because you have fewer shares divided into the same amount of money. And that's what's happening here, not only with Norwegian, but Carnival is doing it, and so is Royal Caribbean. They're buying their own stock back in portions. They're allowed to buy, I believe, 5 to 10% a year under securities rules, and they're gobbling up excess shares that just, they can buy anybody's stock. If you want to sell your stock, they happen to buy it. Doesn't matter to you. Doesn't matter to them. The stock goes back into the treasury of the corporation. The corporation just has fewer shares outstanding, and it makes it easier to outperform the performance of the company as time goes by. Now, to defend the company, look, if the stock is trading right now at whatever it's trading at, 40 something bucks a share, what, $50 a share, if they feel the share should be trading at $70, $80, they feel that trading too low, the company is going to buy back its own stock. Of course they are. They're going to buy it back now in the 50s, cancel their certificates, and a year or two or three from now, if the shares trade at 70, 80, $90 a share, they may do a stock offering and issue stock from the treasury at $90 a share. The same stock they bought back at 50, they're going to resell it at 90 and bring in another $40 of share of cash value per share into the treasury of the company to grow the company. That's what corporations from time to time will do. Right now, the cruise lines are buying back their own stock. To me, I'm going, okay, I guess, why don't you take that? They've got a budget of $1 billion, by the way, to buy stock this year, up to 10% of their company. Why don't you take that $1 billion and pay off your debt? You've got outstanding loans out there that are getting more expensive as interest rates go higher. If you were to buy back $1 billion worth of your debt, you wouldn't be paying out 45, 50 million a year in interest on that money for the next 10, 15 years. That's $500, $600 million you don't have to spend on interest expenses. Just a thought. But on the other hand, I can see the board of directors and the bean counters going, no, why don't we buy the stock back? Because if we have a slowdown in the cruising market, it'll be easier for us to maintain our stock values because we have fewer shares outstanding, and it's easier to keep our earnings per share higher so our shares won't get hit. And that's a PR issue we don't want to get into, because the guys on Wall Street are really upset when our stocks don't perform well. And right now, they're not performing well if you compare Norwegian stock to where it is as to where it's been in the last year. It was as high as, I think, $72 a share during the last year, if I recall my numbers. Pardon me one more time. Norwegian was as high as 61, as low as 46. And today it's around $51 a share, $50 a share. So it's only $4 from the low of the year. So they'd rather buy the stock back here than put the money into the business at this point. This excess cash, this $1 billion of cash. They don't pay a dividend at all. There's no dividend being paid. They could take $1 billion and give it to the shareholders as a dividend, as a reward for holding the stock, so that you're getting paid some kind of an interest rate for your money. But no, they've decided that they're going to buy the stock back instead, try to help the shares not go as low as they could by having fewer of them out there. They are making money as a corporation. Use that excess profit, buy back stock. And the game plan is, a year from now, 2 years from now, maybe the stock will go from where it is now, $45, $50 a share. Maybe it'll go to 70, 80. And it'll almost be a double, and we'll be heroes in the boardroom. And maybe then we'll look at a dividend program, maybe not. They're playing that game. On the other hand, money is money. The company can do with it as it wishes, as long as it's solvent, and at this point it is. However, a couple of pieces of news on today's earnings that I also noticed. Their interest expenses went up because interest rates are going up right now, just a little here and a little there. Their interest expenses, the amount of money they paid bankers for interest, went up to $73 million, up from 64. So they're paying $11 million more in interest. That's in the quarter. Their fuel costs went up 3% in the last year, but that is only the tip of the iceberg. I think their fuel costs are going to go higher faster because they've been sheltering their cost of fuel using futures to try to hedge their bets. They've been buying hedge futures on energy when the price was low a few months ago. And then they buy back the stock, and they're talking about the Norwegian Joy as a positive. The company is trying to put a positive spin on the Norwegian Joy story that we've been talking about now for about 3 weeks. The Joy did not work out very well in China. It's not working out at all. It has to stay there until next March. They can then get out of there because they've got probably commitments and contracts until next March. They're moving it into dry dock for a month or so. $50 million will be spent on that ship to Americanize it, de-Chinese it, de-Chinese it, and re-Americanize it. If there's such, I don't know if these words exist, but it's a $50 million bill. And then the staff, they have to completely change the crew. They're probably going to change 2/3 of the crew, Mandarin speaking to English speaking. The casino will be completely redone. I think there are 2 on board now. They'll only have 1 on board. There's a whole bunch of work being done on that ship. That will not show, by the way, in the financials until 2020. Just so you know, they will do this work in 2019, but the financials won't be reflected until 2020 when they have a special one-time write-off. This expense of the ship. They're going to say, oh, remember a year ago we did the Joy thing? We have to do a $50 million write-off, but it's only $25 million after tax. It's no big deal, but it's coming. It's going to hurt future numbers. They're not talking about that today. They're talking about the redeployment, what was the word? There was a beautiful term. I didn't write it down. The opportunistic redeployment of the Joy, or something along those lines. It was a beautiful term of phrase. They have an English major or 2 in the company who are beautiful linguists. They're very good linguists. Good with the words, really good with the words. They made it sound like the Joy is just a second coming, and it's going to join the Bliss in Seattle next year, and it's just going to be lollipops and ice cream cones, and it's just going to be fantastic because our cruisers, our passengers, our loyal passengers are going to be allowed to experience the wonderment of the Joy in Alaska and then in California from Los Angeles. Where they could have said, yeah, it didn't work out in China, we're pulling it. Get it out of there. So that's coming. So the company has got an increase in capacity, which means their numbers are rising because they have more cabins to fill. They're claiming they're making more money on a per cabin basis. I'm not sure if that's true. On a per cabin basis, they might be making as much or a little less than before, but because they have more cabins, they're making more money, higher numbers. And so the spin is on that all is well, everything is great, we're having a wonderful time. If oil continues to rise, Jim Cramer predicted $100 a barrel within the year. If interest rates go up another 2 or 3 percentage points, and I don't see why that won't happen, this company here is going to be carrying higher loads of costs, higher costs. The American dollar is very strong right now against other currencies. If the trade wars continue and start to hurt American business and start to hurt American economic forecasts, the American dollar may start to slump against other foreign currencies, meaning that this company will start to find that its expenses will go up globally, because Norwegian doesn't just spend money in America. They spend money all over the place using American dollars to buy whatever they're buying. If the American dollar drops 3, 4, 5 percentage points in strength, Norwegian and Royal Caribbean and Carnival will get whacked, whacked financially to the tune of millions of dollars in currency exchange losses. It's going to be rather expensive. So it's a triple whammy: higher rates, lower currency, higher oil prices, perhaps lower occupancy rates because the economy slows up. That means we pull back a little bit. If we all delay our cruise by 1 month, we decide for 1 month we're not going to book anything, and then we're going to book. That's 1 month of uncertainty that these guys can't handle. This is not what they want to hear, not what Wall Street wants to know. And that's why some of the analysts are not convinced that it's all peaches and cream. And so even with today's numbers, the stock was up about $2 a share. Yeah, but it was up 3 at one point today, and it backed off. Royal Caribbean did have a nice jump last week, backed off a little bit, came up a little bit in sympathy today, but these shares are still pretty low compared to their last year's run. Just an overall thinking here on and comment on that. Let's see if anyone has any comments on everything that I've been talking about. Reggie Nerman, hey Bruce, you're our entertainment every night for dinner. Thanks. Thanks, Reggie Nerman. I hope I don't bore you with some of my stuff, but you know, if you want me to change the subject, just let me know. Paul Wilgus, I bet Tracy. Jim Thomas, got to love computers and the joy they bring you. Robert Brandt, Tracy Dunlap, the TV in the U.S. Virgin Islands used to be pretty bad, And now with satellite, we have 900 channels right on here, just like everyone else. It's fantastic, isn't it? Kat, makes me wonder. Tom Henry, I am thinking I would like to retire from the current job and get a job as the ship's accountant. Would love to do that on Jewel and see Anne. How does one look into cruise ship jobs? You could look into it, Dom, but I think the bean counters are not on the ships. They're generally in the head office. Now, there could well be some people on board, yes, probably in the admin side. I would probably go to their websites, the cruise line websites. They probably have career opportunity sections right there. Check into that. Look into it. Seakeeper, I don't know if it'll pay very well, though. Seakeeper, 748 channels and nothing worth watching. TV is so vastly overrated. We need a cruising channel. There you go. Robert Brent, at Tom Henry, the cruise line sites usually have a career option at the very bottom of their pages. Paul Wilgus, I agree. Seakeeper, mostly garbage channels. Robert Brent, Seakeeper, you got that right. Paul Wilgus, did anyone see Don's video about the people getting kicked off Holland America's ship? I read this story this morning on one of the sites, and I haven't got both sides of the story, I don't think, but it took the story I read. I believe it was an Australian couple, and the story was spread by an Australian TV station or publication of some kind. They took they obviously were talking to the couple because the cruise line is not talking, and the couple gave us their version of what happened, and we haven't heard the version from the cruise line directly. I don't think we ever will. The couple is demanding evidence that they were in any way at fault. There apparently was a shoving incident of some kind of a crew member. The cruise line pointed at this particular woman's husband, saying he did it. The couple said, we didn't do that. He didn't do that. The husband's going, not me. I didn't do that. I wouldn't push anybody. Not a chance. They were on a 24-day vacation. It was day 5. They got kicked off in Finland by Holland America. They flew them home. Holland America bought them a plane ticket, said, get out. And they got kicked off, and there's nothing you can do. You're at the mercy of the cruise line. Captain rules. The captain decided you're gone. You're gone. And I don't know where you can go legally. I have no idea. So they are very upset with what happened. And I guess Don did a video about it. I read it this morning, and I thought, I don't have enough info here to do a video on this. I'd love to do a video, but I got to get the other side, and I just don't have it. But, makes for an interesting story for sure. Paul Wilgus, they were accused of shoving crew member, but they weren't the ones, they say. Tracy Dunlop was saying, good for Norwegian. They are playing a game. Don't have Norwegian stock for me. Talking about the share numbers here. Tom Henry, speaking of the Joy, at lunch today, I was browsing its cruises and looked at the concierge cabins. Didn't think much of the cabin versus the cost. Tom, I was looking at the Joy pricing yesterday on vacationstogo.com, and they are not good at all. The prices are very high at this point. I think it's way too early for us to speculate what the final pricing is going to be here. Maybe the line is trying to, start high, put on a brave face. But boy, I have a feeling that there will be deals on the Norwegian Joy as we get closer to sail dates, especially out of Los Angeles, because they're not replacing an existing ship. They are a brand new ship with only a year and a bit of notice that they're going to be there. I have a feeling it might be tough to fill that ship up right away. Kathleen Krieger is here. Kathleen, how are you? Yay, Holland America screwed them. Yeah, not yay. Yeah, Holland America screwed them. A lawsuit in the making. There you go, Kathleen. I don't know if they've got the legal, the dollars to hire a lawyer. I don't know if they'll ever win. It's a tough one. Tom Henry, I am thinking Adrian is lucky he didn't get shoved. Adrian, our friend, the concierge on the Bliss in the Haven. My goodness. Paul Wilgus at Kathleen Krieger. Yep, I would sure as heck sue. Paul is saying. Paul Wilgus saying at Tom Henry, I probably would have the last day at Tom Henry. I would have shoved him on the last day. There you go. Okay, I got you. Or in Frank's case, run over his feet with the wheelchair. Laugh out loud. Exactly. Yep. Yep. Tom. Oops. Did I do that? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I run over your feet with my wheelchair? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see your big fat feet there. Valen Martinez is here from Argentina. How are you, buddy? Welcome back to the show. Cat Rose makes me wonder what they are saying. Cat Rose, I think there is a cruise channel in the UK. Nina Frank, hi Bruce and all. Hope you are fine from a still warm Sweden. High today was 28. Nina, we're hanging in there. This is the live show take 2. We had technical problems on the first one, terrible transmission issues. We seem to be okay right now. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. Brittany Lockwood, we definitely need at least one cruising channel on television. Robert Brandt. So, as for shoving, all cruisers look the same. It's a joke. It's just a joke, guys. Yeah, I mean, unless you have it on camera, how do you know? And really, was it violent or whatever? Again, we weren't there. I can't tell you. I have no idea. And Jordan, hola, Valen, hola. Nina Frank, too many white socks in sandals, eh, Robert? They all look the same. Robert loved that one. Mary Ellen Shaw is here saying at Robert Brandt, is St. Thomas a good port to just rent golf cart and explore on your own? Boy, I don't know if you can even do that. And Jordan is laughing out loud. I don't know. Robert, can you, is that even possible? I'm sure you could rent a car in St. Thomas for the day if you wanted to, I suppose. Or just grab one of the cabs and have them give you a ride around. What do you think? Mary Ellen, he's saying, Mary Ellen Schultz, you can't do it by golf cart, but a car on your own, yes, but it's not that big a place. Robert Brandy saying it's 7 miles long. The island is 7 miles long. So, if you grab a cab, I would think, this is just me talking, you grab a cabbie, if you got to say there's 4 of you, 2 couples, grab one of those, minivan type cabs, and tell the cabbie, we're going to rent you for 2 hours. Let's go. The cabbie will be so happy. They'll take you anywhere you want. That could be pretty cool. And you can have your own private tour guide. But yeah, too big for a golf cart type place. But Robert Brandt, and the golf course Mahogany Run is being sold since it was so damaged in the hurricanes. Isn't that something, Robert? That's too bad. Hopefully they're getting it repaired, but my goodness, I guess they're selling it maybe as is, and that's going to require a lot of money to repair. And Jordan laughing out loud at Nina, or with Nina. Yeah, hard to say how things are going to work out. Some of these projects, like you say, St. Thomas, San Martin, Puerto Rico, the damage. There's so much damage to look at. You have your infrastructure. You've got places like hospitals, schools, government buildings. Then you have homes, then businesses, then tourist situations. Your tourist spots, like the dock, you got to get the dock fixed, because the dock allows everything in to the island and a lot off the island. So if you want to bring in food, provisions, tourists, you got to fix the pier, the dock. After that, you've got to fix the infrastructure around the dock. You have to have electrical power to handle all the containers. You have to have trucks back up and running. You've got to get the distribution systems going. You have to have the warehouses with the air conditioning. You need the refrigeration systems for milk and cheese and ice cream and ice and fresh vegetables and everything. I mean, you're talking about everything from the ground up. Golf courses are sort of a luxury that, would it be nice to have a golf course in St. Thomas? Well, yeah, but you can't have it get ripped up by a hurricane every 5 or 10 years. You'll never make money. You'll lose it all every time. And you got to have 5 to 10 years of solid business to get your money out of the investment you put in. So yeah, just $40 million, Robert is saying, you can buy the golf course, but boy, how many millions you got to pay to fix it? And you probably can't get insurance to insure it. I don't know who would want to touch it. It's pretty tough. Tammy Ray, I'm starting to think maybe booking a cruise for next summer. Hurricane season wasn't so smart to do. Okay. To Paul Wilgus, Robert Brandt, you going into the golf course business, just 40 million. I'm laughing my ass off. Robert Brandt, the docks and the stores around the docks were the first things fixed. You betcha they were. You betcha they were. Those are the first things. Then right after that, the warehouses, the container port area was repaired immediately. The roads in and out of there immediately. Power up as fast as possible. Refrigeration right there. Grocery stores had to be brought back online ASAP. Oh my goodness, that was a complete redo. Unbelievable. Paul Robert saying at Paul Wilgus, considering there's a lot of land still to develop around the golf course, I guess. Kat, I wonder if the radio telescope on Puerto Rico will be fixed. That's a good question. I'm sure eventually. Seakeeper, I love hiring a cab for half a day when I go ashore. When I went to Florence, my wife stayed in port and did that in Livorno. She had a great time. There you go. Rent a cab and get a tour. Absolutely. Brittany Lockwood, I remember being scared for everyone in last year's super hurricanes, Cat 5 or higher. Tracy Dunlop, Robert Brandt, forgot to tell you, read that 2 houses for sale in Q Aydin, I think, only 12 houses on the island, but need to be sustainable. No city electric or H2O or water. Yuck. Yeah, those aren't houses. Those are huts. They look like houses, but they're huts, because if you haven't got electricity and you haven't got water, you're not going to last very long. What are you going to do with the beer? That beer is getting warm awful fast. Not good. No. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wouldn't be a big fan of something like that. But hey, they're there for a reason. People love them. They're obviously out there for a reason. What are you going to do? Interesting stuff. Yeah, these hurricanes, they caused unbelievable destruction. To this day, rebuilding is still going on, and it is incredibly expensive. It's going to take a while. Yeah, years. It's going to take years for these places to be fully brought up to where they were. D&G Explorers, isn't it more expensive to cruise in the summer months when it's hurricane season? Yes and no, D&G, but there are fewer choices. There aren't as many cruise ships around in the summer, so you don't have as big a cruise fare deal. But this year, boy, could you get good deals on the seaside? The MSC Seaside in the Caribbean, giving away balconies, $550 for the week, and a drink package included. That's like $300 for a balcony. That's a giveaway. They were doing that all year. Cat Rose is saying it's off the grid. Robert Brandt at Tracy, I saw they were fishing. There are fishing shacks. They have solar and cisterns. Paul Wilgus is saying at Tracy Dunlap, there are a lot of people that live off the grid like that. Seakeeper, I doubt that the radio telescope in Puerto Rico will ever get fixed. Sad. That's his thought. Interesting, sir. Tracy Dunlap, no, Bruce, these are 5,000 square foot houses, solar and rainwater converted. Oh my goodness. We're talking about the other side of grid living. Wow, that's something. Those are ambitious. That's ambitious for sure. Very interesting, Tracy. Paul Wilgus, I saw today that they downgraded the number of hurricanes expected this year. Glad to hear that, Paul. Robert Brandt, yes, Tracy, $5 million places. $5 million. Wow, that's incredible. Rob Sutter, the cruise lines are doing a great job making people want to go cruising. Throw people off the ship, and then they say, see you next cruise. Yeah, this story about this Holland America thing, they threw the couple off. The couple complained vehemently to head office, saying we had nothing to do with it. We don't know where this charge is coming from. No one can give us evidence that my husband in any way was involved. They won't release the videotape. They apparently have it on video, and they won't show it to us. Prove to us that my husband shoved this crew member, because it just did not happen. And Holland America saying, sorry, we can't do that. Sorry, you got kicked off the ship. Sorry, we did that to you. But hey, we can't wait to see you next time. Wouldn't that be great? Who are they? What are they thinking? What are you thinking doing that? But that's all cover your ass. You say nice things because the lawyer is right over their shoulder saying, don't you say anything about that videotape. Don't you say anything about giving him evidence. Just tell him have a nice day. And that's what they did. Isn't that something? Robert Brandt at Traveling with Bruce. Tracy doesn't tell you, but Naples is pretty fancy, fantastic. Brittany Lockwood, I hope that they all stay far away from Louisiana by a minimum of 200 miles. She's talking about the hurricanes. Yeah, I don't blame you, Brittany. You don't want one in your neighborhood. I'll tell you that. Not good for the neighborhood at all. Ask the folks in Houston from last year. Ask the folks today in New Orleans from Katrina. There are neighborhoods that have never been rebuilt in New Orleans, and how many hundreds of thousands of people have never come back? It's a devastating thing. It's too bad. But these islands in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, I just heard the other day that the power company claims that after 11 months, they were finally able to restore power to all islanders except for 25 people. There are only 25 people left that don't have electricity, that had electricity before, that can get it now. But I have a feeling there are a lot of houses in Puerto Rico that are not standing, that were standing a year ago, that had electricity a year ago. They're not even standing today. There are vacant lots all over central Puerto Rico where there is no one living where there were people living before. And the power lines just go right on by and just keep on going to somewhere else. The devastation was terrible. Heard today on the television about Puerto Rico is still saying 69 people died in the hurricane, when the official number is well over 1,400 and I think 70 something. And they will not admit to the 1,400 number. I do not know why. I don't understand what the game is. But government officials will not admit the truth as to how many people really died because of the effects of the hurricane. What can I say? Robert Brandt, none of us need hurricanes this season. Robert Brandt, NOLA has uninsurable areas. There are areas you cannot get insurance. Wendy Thompson, Brittany, are you near Lake Catahoula? Is the question. Brittany? Nope. Robert Brandt saying, Bruce, they have a huge connection fee for power in Puerto Rico, and many cannot afford the cost to be linked into the power grid. There you go. Cat Rose, wow. Wendy Thompson, when we drove, didn't see any signs for it. When we drove through, didn't see any signs for it, Wendy is saying. Not sure what Wendy is referring to in Louisiana, perhaps. She's talking about Louisiana. Brittany Lockwood, starting in just over a week, I will be living super close to the bayous at University. Tracy Dunlap, yes, said Robert Brandt, pretty pricey in Naples, Florida. Rather pricey, rather fancy. And this little island with 5,000 square foot homes powered by solar and using cisterns for water, rather sophisticated. Would need a pretty good build out and pretty good maintenance. Pretty interesting. Robert Brandt, Tracy Dunlap, but so nice. Yes, you guys are going to show me around someday. You folks down in that neighborhood, you folks sound like you have more money than I have. Wait a minute. Everybody has more money than I have. What am I saying? Yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm broke. Everybody has more money than I have. Thank you for your contributions. Wendy Thompson, Lake Catahoula, would love to get a picture of our Catahoula at Lake Catahoula. Okay. Robert Brandt, Bruce, you are welcome anytime. Thank you, Robert. I'm taking you up on that. St. Thomas or Naples, you name it. That would be fantastic. Love to catch up with you. That would be fun. Tom Henry, I gave all my money to Bruce and Amazon. And Tom, I thank you. And it's the least you can do. He bought a nice camera. And Tom, thank you for all your support. And that gift card. I got that Costco gift card, a month ago? Thank you so much. Good man. I loved it. Jennifer couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I said, it's coming. She said, no way. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a gift card from Tom Henry. And sure enough, it arrived. She couldn't believe it. Absolutely fabulous. Paul Wilgus laughing out loud. Cat Rose would need one heck of a solar system to run my big house. You know, I agree. I think the solar system business, as time goes on, it gets better and better, more sophisticated. I bet you there'll become a time where panels will be, 3 feet by 5 feet. They'll be so technologically advanced 5-10 years from now. I bet you down the road, there'll be one panel for a whole house. You won't have to have panels on the whole roof anymore. Just one super panel will equal 20 regular panels. And the sun just shines through all those photons or whatever they're going into. You got power for a whole house. I bet you it'll come. It's just a matter of developing the technology. Who knows? We didn't think 20 years ago solar would be real. I remember solar on the moon landings, and I thought, solar in space? That's kind of wacky. Look at it today. It's in almost all of our neighborhoods. It's absolutely amazing. Let's see here. Cat, Paul Wilgus, Cat or Windmill. Cat Rose, Tom, did you get the battery issue settled? To Brittany Lockwood, I think I may upload pics of some of my trip to campus. Yeah. Robert Brandt, Cat Rose, my house in St. Thomas is all solar, and it's producing more than we use. Right on. Tom Henry, off topic. I just came across a Martinique postcard. Does anyone else think Martinique looks like a parrot? That's what I see. That is what I see. Paul Wilgus, they already make roof tiles that are solar panels. Yeah, I know that Tesla makes those. Tom Henry, I love solar. Robert Brandt, saying, Robert, it's getting better and better. I agree. I think it is. I think it's getting to the point, like I say, where it'll be so efficient that you'd be crazy not to have it. I really do. Seakeeper, St. Kitts looks like a fried chicken leg to me. Well, if you look high enough from space and you look down, you look at the Cayman Islands and you swear that the island looks like a serpent. It's like a letter L that kind of goes along here like this and then comes up like that. And at the top, there's a serpent's head there. 7 Mile Beach over here. It's pretty cool. What can I tell you? Everything looks the way it looks from outer space. Cat Rose, she's laughing. She's laughing. Folks, thank you for your thumbs ups today. Thank you for your patience in coming back with me on this second go around on this show. We've had technical issues from time to time, but today we had to redo it from scratch. I thank you, everybody, for finding me. Let's see here. Robert Brandt, you need to live somewhere with a lot of sunny days, but it's a smart build. Tracy Dunlap, many have solar power down here to subsidize electric. Yeah, I can believe it, and I don't blame them. Here in British Columbia, we have areas of BC and Canada where we have solar too. I would love to have solar on this house, especially in the winter. I would love to have it here, but right now, too expensive to install up here. Hopefully, the prices will come down as it becomes more popular. Still up for trivia tonight. Debbie's asking, oh yeah, 8 o'clock tonight. I'm on. I've got my trivia questions ready to locked and loaded, ready to roll. I look forward to seeing you guys at 8 o'clock tonight. Hope you join me. Tom Henry, Cat, they sent a second off-brand battery that still didn't work. The company is to give me a $20 credit. I took a chance and ordered a second charger that came with 2 batteries for about $25. They work. Okay, right on. Interesting, Tom. You know, these issues with these items, it's quite something, but hopefully it'll all work out. Robert Brandt, traveling with Bruce, does the Canadian government have a deduction for solar? You know, I don't know. It's sort of up to the provinces, kind of like a state thing, state by state thing. So I don't know if there's a government thing, and I'm not sure if there's much of a provincial thing yet. It's not, you know, it's not on my, like, I don't know of it. So, you know, that tells you something, doesn't it? It's not like a big talked about thing around here. And yet we do pay high rates for electricity. This house is heated with electricity. My furnace, air conditioner, everything is electric. I don't have natural gas here. Natural gas is way cheaper here than electric. But for me to switch over to gas, I'd have to switch everything over, all my appliances over to natural gas, and that'd be too much money. And Jordan, trivia a go. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Brittany Lockwood should be in for trivia. Debbie Manuel, yay for trivia. Brittany Lockwood, I'm not leaving early from this show. I'm not leaving early. Kat Rose, good. You got something that works. Kat says, Tracy Dunlop, trivia. No Matthew Broderick, please. No more Matthew Broderick trivia, please. Okay, I promise. Tonight, there will not be any Matthew Broderick trivia on the show. Okay? Let me just double check the topics here. Matthew Broderick, just one second here. No Matthew Broderick. I've eliminated. There wasn't any Matthew Broderick. We did Matthew Broderick. He's out. He's off. We're done. Okay. Going to try and stay awake for trivia. Robert Brandt to sand a Seakeeper. If there's such a thing, they would have it set up. Set that up. You don't get a penny from going solar. Yeah, not yet. There's nothing in Canada that really pushes it. We produce so much electricity here from hydro. From coal, but we're phasing that out. Natural gas, we produce from liquid natural gas so much electricity. Solar is up against it. I think in Eastern Canada, there's more of a push for it. But I would love to have this house go solar. I think it's great. I think it's the way it should be done. Paul Wilgus, Robert Brandt, if you do no visiting other videos after, laugh out loud. If you do no visiting other videos after. Okay. So if he can stay awake for trivia, then go right to bed afterwards. Don't be watching any other videos. Go straight to bed, mister. Robert Brandt, in the U.S. Virgin Islands, the power company buys back the extra electricity. Tom Henry, Robert Brandt, hope you do. I nodded off yesterday when Bruce finally got to the topic and missed it, laughing out loud. Robert Brandt, La Lita Loca is only on Tuesdays. And Nina Frank, really up for trivia tonight. Right on, Nina. Get ready. I'm ready for you guys. I've got trivia ready to go. Okay, there you have it. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Thanks for the thumbs ups today. 21 thumbs ups have come in today on this show. 37 are still watching. If any of you can spare me a thumbs up as we're closing out this telecast, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm on at 8 o'clock tonight for trivia. I'm on tomorrow, Friday at 5 o'clock, of course, as usual. Saturday at 2. And we'll probably have some trivia on Saturday as well. And I'm looking forward to that. Tom Henry, Robert, you need a transmission method to send it to San Juan. Robert Brandt, see you guys in 2 hours. I'm on in 1 hour, 53 minutes from now for trivia tonight. I've got a good bunch of questions for you. I hope you guys are up for it. I'm looking forward to having that happen. 24 thumbs ups now. 3 more just popped in there. Thank you, everybody. Tom Henry saying goodbye. Nina, Robert, Paul, Seakeeper, Tracy, Kat, Debbie, Brittany. Looking at all the names that have come here. Paul, of course. Jim was here earlier today. Rob was here today again. Hi, Rob. Thanks again for coming by. Tracy, of course. D&G Explorers were here. My buddies, YouTube buddies, they were here today. Thank you, everybody, for coming by and showing up and catching up with this show and tolerating the spotty internet connection. I will see you guys in 1 hour and 52 minutes for trivia. And I look forward to that. 25 thumbs ups right now, still coming in. Thank you, everybody, for that. And we'll talk to you guys later. Folks are still talking to each other. Everyone's saying I'm going to try to get back and looking forward to it. I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock Eastern time for trivia, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks, guys. See you for now. Bye.